Namaskar. Samaj is a very favorite subject of me and also many others in India, in Bengal, in India and abroad. Particularly for me, there are two reasons for that. I was initiated in 1962. I am speaking from the very beginning, And I remember that within few months, I had Baba's PC in the same year. And Baba graced me to understand about him. And my attraction naturally increased. Then some senior Diden dadas, very senior. That time, workers' creation just started. Avadhuta. So, from one of them, I first came to know about Prout. About Prout, there are not so many books, not at all. And some discussion only. Baba also would not speak on Prout those early days, except occasionally in individual, formal gathering. Sometime he will refer to Prout. So I heard about Prout. It naturally attracted me very much. Oh, in Ananda Marga, not only sadhana, not only spiritual philosophy, such high and such good sadhana, but this aspect is also there about the amelioration or real solution of the poverty and economic problems of the people. I was quite young, fresh young, college and university student. So it attracted me. And then period after, almost in the same year and the next year, I came to know about aamra bangali. That Samaj name was not there. And that time, aamra bangali would be confined, even the discussion, the reference to it, would be confined very in a limited circle, whispering type, no open discussion. So that way I came to know, it ignited my imagination and inspiration more. Oh, Prout has that aspect. But I was not clear about what. Not only me, I can tell you very frankly that nowhere in India, that time everything was India based, or rather Eastern India, then gradually was spreading, already started spreading in different parts of the country. So there was no idea of Samaj. And Baba, according to Baba's scheme of things, Baba's policy and sankalpa, not only Samaj or Prout, everything he started gradually, in time. Before giving it officially or formally, he created that situation, that eagerness to come within from Margis and in the world, outside. I have watched it. Same thing is related to Samaj. The economic problems of the people, common people, was increasing. People were realizing, 60s in India and in the world, particularly in India, because economically, majority of the, not only majority, more than 80%, 90% people are economically suppressed, or were economically suppressed that time. So naturally, that situation was coming. So Baba gave gradually. So that in the beginning it was like that, whispering type of talking. But for myself, it ignited, as I told you, in my inspiration and imagination. And I was so much impressed. Yes, here is something to do directly for the common people. Because from my birth, maybe I am very much fortunate for that, I was seeing, because I have not come from a very wealthy family, very common, almost village or semi-town area, also very much known to villages. So I know the problems, and some of those problems, economic problems, I had to face in different times of my life before I became Ananda Margi or work. So I was so much impressed. And then situation becomes, and then my determination and my willingness, seeing the new and young dadas, that time Didi and Sannyasi trace, my intention of becoming, Baba was, I realized later on, not that time so much, that Baba is within, inner guidances and inner, driving force to take a strong decision and determination towards a very big thing, great thing, sublime thing. He only gives from within. So I realized that time, not though very clearly, that my determination for becoming sannyasi, particularly for Prout, I told you, and Samaj, Aamra, Bangali that time, no other, and not even Samaj name. So I became WT, and that time Baba's system was during WT training. We were the first batch in 64. After 2 years I became. I could not remain in the so-called worldly home more than 2 years after getting initiation and having Baba's PC. During that time, Baba's system of training, old-timers training was this, that there will be Prout training. So we went somewhere in Patna. There was Chief Secretary of PFI that time, Proutist Federation of India. That is the beginning. Progressive Federation of India. Later on it became Proutist Federation of India, and later on Proutist Universal. So we have a training, separate training during that training period for Prout. I remember more than a week, almost 12 days in Patna from some Indian dada in Prout, PFI. And then after, I came to know about another Samaj, Chhattisgarh. I remember these two Samajas. That time even not Samaj name. Yeah, Chhattisgarh was Samaj that time. Baba called it Aamra Bangali Samaj. People would not use that particular term, but Chhattisgarh Samaj. By that time, Aamra Bangali, Chhattisgarh were becoming almost not whispering type of thing. Almost it has gone to not to general Margis, but in Bengal, those not general Margis, but to a greater section. In this way, so I came to know about second Samaj, Chhattisgarh. Then in 66, I became Prout Chief Secretary. I was the third Chief Secretary of Prout in 66. Head office was in C14 that time in South Extension, where in the another D section now, D41 is the Prout office. So that it is our own now presently, but that was rented house. So I was Chief Secretary. During my that tenure, Baba gave election program in 67. There was general election in India. Indira Gandhi declared, and Baba ordered. That time, PBI was also created. After my taking over, within few months, Baba created PBI, and naturally PBI was the political party, registered party that time. Baba took necessary steps to get it registered. But it was that time it was just in the process of registration. But it was a declared political party. So, not under even proud organization, I mean PFI, but just independent. But internally, it will have guidance from here. It is natural for Ananda Marga. So, PFI, then during my tenure, Baba was gradually clarifying more and more about proud aspect. Then Baba's certain discourses about proud started, And just before that, I was not acquainted in the beginning, but I got to read Idea and Ideology, where Baba in 2 chapters gave proud, and particularly the 5 fundamental principles. And just during that period, a little before that, Ananda Sutram Baba last chapter gave. So I was as interested, I already studied those. And some discussions were there amongst workers and Margis. And sometime we just speak also in Margis about proud, but not about Samaj. And that Samaj also remained, though little broader, but limited circle. To Samaj, I told you. So, during my tenure, it happened that Baba changed PFI, Progressive Federation of India, to PFI, but it became Proudist Forum of India. But within few months, Baba changed it to Proudist Universal during my tenure. And with the help of the then members of parliament from Congress party, Shashi Ranjan, he was a very ardent devotee of Baba at the same time. So Baba was, to some persons, Baba instructed him to help me to declare in public, making an announcement in the press conference. Though at that time, nothing was not so much known. But proud aspect was, already people also started, because we were also speaking something amongst public about proud. When that type of question will come, what is your solution? Naturally, generally people, you are speaking about this, but people are having not food, in empty belly. So we had an easy answer, We were getting Baba inputs also about that from those books. So, but in Bengal, in the beginning it was only there one, I told you, but later on Baba encouraged Chhattisgarh by giving them sentiment. Baba was visiting that area, the Chhattisgarh different areas, particularly Raipur. So Baba was almost frequently going there and inspiring the local people, prepared and built up certain persons for that, and they were also propagating. So more Aamra Bangali and also Chhattisgarh Samaj were also operational most. Some activities they started. So during this my period. So after 1 hour, 1.5 years, something happened. Different post and different thing after general election. Then as I was telling about PBI, so Krish Shivananji was made as Acharya. He was engineer in railway department, but he left his job, under inspiration of Baba, and he became whole-timer. And while I was chief secretary, he was made chief secretary of PBI, but as a Grihi Acharya, but not actually Grihi, Tapas Kumar. So that name was given to him by Baba. So we were doing together, and Aamra Bangali was not at all declared political party, or only PBI was a political party. Election was fought that time in the name of PBI. Then, after certain, I became some central worker in Ranchi while Baba was in Ranchi. And then Baba came to Patna for a short period. Then Baba was arrested in 71. I was 1 year underground, according to Baba's instruction. Then after 1 year, I became, inside jail after having 26 days of maximum extreme torture, physical, psychic, upon me in CBI custody. So then 6.5 years, Baba was 7.5 years, I was 1 year less, 6.5 years inside jail. Now comes the real phase of Prout and Samaj. In the meantime, Baba has given different discourses on Prout. So, but the Prout in a nutshell did not, only 3, 4, 5 such books were available. So, Abhimat was there in Bengali, but not in English. A few problems solved later on became published. So, what happened that after Baba's release from jail, just before that, after my underground period, when Baba called me in Patna that time, Baba was in Patna, so Camp Officer was in Patna. So the then acting General Secretary told me that you are in Prout now. Still then not global organization. Though, certain things people started coming, but outside, until unless they would be ideological, how they would be active regarding Prout. Baba would not, allow that. It was very natural, those who were interested, like you, they were coming to know about Prout and getting inspiration to know about that aspect. So I was already in Prout when I was arrested. So inside jail there was no, in jail there was no question of activities, in Prout for me. But other outside underground organization was there. But Prout activities almost everything in India was almost just very little. But outside Baba was expanding the organization. That was his scheme of things. So then Baba came to, Kolkata. And this Kolkata period, 12 years, 78 end to 90 end, October, till his Mahaprayan. These 12 years are very crucial, very vital in the history of Avadhuta. Completely different phase, tremendous speed, dynamism, and maximum workers, young, fresh from all parts of India started coming. Then Baba made me Samaj Secretary. Before that, Samaj word Baba coined, in one discourse, Samaj, but not very clearly. What is the relation of Prout and Samaj? That aspect was not so clear, but Baba was clarifying that thing. And then in that situation, Baba gave Samaj, made me Samaj Secretary. Baba declared, I remember, the posting Samaj Secretary in Prout, of course. I was organizing secretary, at the same time Samaj Secretary. So they all know this. So in Kolkata, Baba started touring also. Car tour, historical tour, 2-3 years. During that period, Prabhat Sangeet was given. So Baba, side by side, was clarifying the relation between Prout and Samaj. So everything was being done by Baba. First everything, Baba selected this Bengal for that because he must have best idea, except him who can have that idea, that which would be the proper place to accept this aspect very easily. So it was maximum exploited, and also the psychically elevated people are here, culturally also. So Baba was, whenever he was in different discourses, even in private group discussions amongst workers, and he was disclosing about Samaj and relationship. So Baba first, what I remember, Baba first told about this relationship, that Samaj is the real practical application of Prout. Baba clearly told that Prout is an ideological, a type of socio-economic philosophy, theory. It is theory, a type of philosophy. And Baba explained up to this that it is a part of Ananda Marga philosophy. And why? Because Ananda Sutram is the best proof. Ida and Adaj is the best proof. Why it is written Sri Ananda Murti, so Dharma Guru. So as Dharma Guru, he made it the essential part of Ananda Marga. It is a practical application, first thing. And second thing, in Prout, as it is a theoretical, mostly propagation, in Prout, what we were doing during my chief secretaryship also, Prout study circle, opening or starting Prout study circle, Prout meetings, Prout Tattva Sabha, sometime general meetings, this type of thing. So, but when Baba gave Samaj, then Baba clarified the second aspect of relationship between Prout and Samaj. First aspect I already told, that is very crucial, that as Prout is propagating, it is very essential because first people, Baba wanted the first people should be acquainted deeply, as far as elaborately possible, about Prout, different aspects of Prout. Then Baba gave the second aspect during that period when I was Samaj secretary. All instructions will come through me. Baba's all instructions will given to me, dictations, I shall note down, and then I shall call the Magis, and then there will be other Prout workers. Then these will be disseminated to Magis. And Baba will himself, even in general discourse in Lake Gardens, Baba would tell something about that. So the second aspect was most important, that Prout would be the ideological theorization side, Prout activities of Proutist Universal. But not only Samaj is practical aspect, but Samaj will be the only organization through which mass will come. Because it is a mass movement. Baba was declaring all these, or clarifying all these aspects. It's a mass movement. Because until unless mass comes, masses, come, so then, Baba's idea in Prout is revolution, a total change. And everybody knows what it is, total change. So, and that change will come through in different levels, but first it would be actualized in the socio-economic level. So that time Baba disclosed this aspect, that through Ananda Marga also, moralist will be created, sadhaka will be created, there will be moralist at the same time, sadhaka, and at the same time very dynamic, all these things. But what they will do? So Baba gave the most important work, that to work amongst the masses and create the sentiment in the masses, attract the masses, bring the masses. And that platform was very clear at that time. Baba made it very clear that the only platform was Samaj. Already Samaj name was given. Then gradually this period, Baba started giving all different kinds of Samaj. Baba made tours of Bihar. I remember that there for the first time, Baba previous to it, some years before going to jail even, he would just refer to that Magad, Mithila, Bhojpur. They are also different, there should be recognized languages, which is still not now, except Maithili, the language of Mithila area of Bihar. So that time Baba clarified that in Bihar there are 4 specific language, not dialect. That time I would remember that Baba in discourses, Baba would clarify. That is there in some aspects, are already there in books. that how, what is the difference between language. Baba's discourses on Varna Vigyan, etc. started almost little after that, simultaneously. So that language and dialect, what are the differences? And language requires 6 or 8 criteria. So these things Baba was clarifying. So Baba clarified that Hindi that way only not even 500 years, maximum it is years, only during British period it started, Hindi. So Hindi has no, it could not fulfill all the requirements of becoming language, getting status of language. But Bihar 5 languages, Baba proved beyond any doubt they are languages. So when Baba was going or visiting, or even they were coming in weekly Dharma Chakras, or even DMC period in different group meetings, Baba will clearly say so, clarify, gives more and more clear and clearer idea about this aspect. That first thing Baba clarified that these are 5 languages in Bihar. And then Baba started, not in the very beginning, first Baba clarified about the language aspect, and then Baba was telling that the 5 languages means they have also the right to determine their economic fates. Then Baba was clarifying that very vital aspect of Samaj, that is, how Baba was very vocal, and he wrote it very clearly in those time discourses which are now in proud books, that Baba was very, very strict and very adamant and very boldly clarifying or pointing out that how from different local areas, different socio-economic units. That time Baba was clarifying these aspects, socio-economic units, having language, common language, all those things that certain criteria Baba gave, common socio-economic interest, common heritage, all these things Baba, all the criteria of Samaj Baba declared. And then Baba was very vociferous about this particular aspect, that how the resources from local area, from one socio-economic unit, are being exploited by outsiders. There is a basic idea and main vital point of Samaj to create the sentiment, Samaj sentiment. Baba established this thing, which was reality. Outsiders, then Baba, in the beginning, Baba did not gave the movement, very beginning. Baba was clarifying everything, setting the things done. Then gradually Baba gave 44 Samajas, not all at a time in India. And after a certain period, different Samaj in the world also, not immediately. Everything was Baba doing gradually. During this period, Baba not only confined Samaj activities in theorization. That time Baba, for Samaj idea or proud idea to go to the masses, Baba already made the Samaj platform. Then Baba gave instructions regarding how to build up Samaj structure. One chief secretary, one secretary for Samaj. Then under him there will be one committee. Then in committee, what would be the post, the movement secretary, all these things, he Baba gave. Movement secretary little later, but what would be the activities? The main activity that time of Samaj, which Baba was telling me and I was conveying, and which Baba was also clarifying amongst others, or what they were doing, we were organizing this thing, that Proud Shiksha Shibir, it means education seminar, small. Because Baba told that in Samaj, actually that started coming in Bengal particularly, and these were also non-Margi people. Baba clarified that yes, mass means non-Margi, but control will be in the hands of those who are in Margi, strong moralist. Baba used the word moralist, that. So, but they were coming already, so they would be theorized or immediately in Proud. Otherwise, their foundation would not be strong, because real philosophy or theory is proud. Essential part of Anandamarga ideology. Then Baba gave the movement activities, and gradually made it more and more vigorous. Particularly Baba got it started because he was in Bengal. Everything, all examples he said, first he was doing starting here, and then it was spreading in another Samaj. So already examples are created. Baba was always preferring that principle, that example is better than precept, So he was creating inspiration in all other Samaja through these experiences in Bengal. So movement, then one movement secretary post was created in Samaj. Then movement became the main aspect of Samaj. And that is how the struggle, the opposition, stiffest opposition with powers, those who are in helm of the affairs in Central, particularly in this Calcutta, started. In West Bengal that time CPM was strongly saddled in power. Just during that period when Baba was intensifying Samaj activities through movement. What were the movements? I think you have heard something about that. Kevalam, in short KBM. They all know, they were very popular word. They all have been built up by Baba, as well as me and others, through the movement of Samaj parts, movement activities. So first it started with a railway station, the railway station's name, etc. Except Bengali, no other language or script will be allowed. Only Bengali script. And people will speak in Bengal. Baba would give example, particularly, specifically of different countries, particularly of France. Baba told that you go to France and you will know that you will naturally try to speak or communicate in English. Even the people who know English there, they would not communicate with you in English. They will compel you to speak in French. Otherwise, no reply even. So Baba gave all those examples. Why not here? Then Baba also clarified that how Hindi intentionally and irrationally imposed, and how these different languages, all 44 Samaj are based on languages. Only few of them were recognized, are still recognized now in constitution. Maximum are still not recognized. So Baba was telling this aspect is injustice, the suppression. So first he started that Kevalam movement. So Kevalam movement were various types. One was this railway station. And gradually he was intensifying. Then there would be hide and seek, with police and authorities. First people were fumbled, the railway authorities or police authorities who were doing it. But Baba's instruction was that everywhere, at least in short, AB, Aba, Aamra bangali name must be there. So this thing was there. Some persons would be arrested, caught in mostly dead hours of night. But more and more people, Baba was intensifying it. Then the daytime people were doing. King Shulji, that time press students, they are almost, I think he was little senior to King Shulji in Anandnagar school. So he himself, while studying in college, Shivanandaji, though in college studying that time, all were, the cadets. They almost started Margis, and they were also Margis, so they were doing it openly. The different slogans and doing, blackening the things. Then Baba gave another different movement activities, intensifying more and more, that is, to enter into the railway booking counter. Suddenly, they are unprepared, there is no protection, and they will snatch away the tickets and other documents. and tell them that everything, why not in Bengali? Why in English? Why in this and that? Only Bengali. That was a movement aspect. So then Baba gave the driving the outsiders movement. In Bengali it was Marwari Hatao. Marwari means those people mostly from Rajasthan and Gujarat. They were pakka businessmen, pakka Vaishyas, and staunch Vaishyas. And by birth, they are of that mentality. They know that how 1 rupees can be increased to 1 crore. They know that tactics very well. And they would also undertake hardships for that. So this Baba explained that how they are. Baba's main objection was this, that not only in Bengal, in that every Samaj area, this type of outsiders are doing business or doing employment even, and they are sending the money outside. They are not spending the money there, so that local economy could be developed or sound or strong. So they were sending the money outside. And that was true. Still now it is true, very much true. So movement became more and more, people were attracted. Particularly, this Marwari, driving out Marwari in Bengal, and sometime they would be, their face would be blackened, just suddenly, even during daytime, this would be done, and then there would be slogans on walls, So in this way, it was going on, it was more intensified. So Samaj, ideas started entering or pouring into masses. In Bengal, in Chhattisgarh, in Angika Samaj, amongst 5 Samajas in Bihar, Angika area is most suppressed, the Purnias, particularly this district, certain districts. So they were most suppressed in Bihar area, most economically suppressed, and no language feeling. They even would not dare to talk amongst themselves while in railway station or train in Angika language. Baba was putting them, giving them inspiration. No, it is your own language. You must talk. Not even don't talk just like Bengal. Every Samaj was being, getting inspiration and attracting masses. So during this period, Baba gave more concentration in Tripura, because Tripura, people, most of the people, the inhabitants there, came from then East Pakistan, and they were homeless, the refugees, and the local tribal people were there. So CPM people, were just inspiring them, provoking them, that they are outsiders, these Bengalis, against Bengalis. So they were, even later on the killing started. They got weapons and they were killing, 1,000 and 1,000 Bengalis were killing. So that was the proper bed, Then gradually Baba clarified, at later stage, when Samaj movement was intensifying, at some later stage, Baba told that the Samaja would be political parties. Everywhere Samaj already started, though not registered party, Samaj, but as independent they will submit their candidate form, but they will be the entire propagation, the publicity, postering, wall writing, everything would be in the name of Samaj. It was very clear that time.
Candidate will be independent.
Independent will be, because Samajas are not registered parties. So only PBI is registered. Then Baba clarified that PBI would fight in the elections. Previously only elections would be fought in the name of PBI. But when Samaj was intensified, then Baba made the system that PBI, wherever the cosmopolitan area, highly cosmopolitan area, you understand cosmopolitan? So like Delhi, not Bengal, Bengal was different that time. Now more outsiders. Already outsiders started coming, and their numbers were increasing, but not so much that time. Suddenly, it became like that. But it was checked due to Aamra Bangali movements at a certain period. And Tripura, I told you, different situation. So Tripura masses caught the sentiment. It attracted mass sentiment there, the Samaj movement. And that time Baba declared election to be fought in the meantime, Baba, according to Baba's instructions, Aamra Bangali was first registered as political party. Samaj. And Baba made the system that whenever any Samaj will attain the situation like some footings, strong hold amongst masses, and through movements they have been somewhat much popular, then and they have much membership things were going on. Main thing was membership forms, and members were swelling in Aamra Bangali, and then they will apply for becoming political party. It will not be so easy. Organization or proud organization will not give easily permission, but after certain stage. So that time first only Aamra Bangali was registered as Samaj, because there was a new name. In India, the registration system, a political party can be registered only in new name. But there are other provisions also. You have to attain a certain percentage of vote. So we were also participating in elections. Margis were becoming, candidates in the name of Samaj. Sometimes non-Margis also, but strongly theorized in Prout. So in Agartala that time, this state capital, somewhere in Tripura, one Samaj candidate owned as Aamra Bangali candidate. That time Aamra Bangali was registered. So because that time of membership, voting percentage, certain minimum voting percentage if you can acquire in different votes, then you can be given that registration slip. So Aamra Bangali was officially registered. So for a long period only Aamra Bangali was registered. Later on, after some period, after long period, Chhattisgarh Samaj at a certain time was given the permission to be legally registered. So that movement also intensified. This is about the history. Now, side by side, I was also telling the ideas, how Baba was clarifying about basic ideas about Samaj. So already certain points I have told. So that part of question, that how Samaj is universal. Baba was very careful about that aspect, Though in the beginning he did not specify so much, but in that period, Baba's certain time, Baba would give more and more clarification about that. Baba would clarify that for why this Samaj movement, the activities, he was also justifying the things verbally and also in writing through his discourses. Different aspects, that particularly Samaj, through Samaj, Baba later on gave the idea of, decentralization of economy. So how and economic democracy. Baba, proud side Baba already was did not give it first. So, just before that, Baba gave those aspects. But what would be the practical application of that? How economic democracy will be achieved? How decentralization will be done? Then Baba declared socio-economic unit. Samaj would be first socio-economic unit aspect was not very much clear. Baba very clearly specified that each Samaj would be socio-economic unit. Not necessarily that they will have a separate state. There will be a separate state. They may not be a state. As for example, Baba told in Bihar, there are 5 Samaj. So socio-economic units. So the socio-economic units, economic matters, they will be totally self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency, Baba's main idea before that Baba created, and that self-sufficiency will come through locally, through Samajas. Each Samaja will be self-sufficient economically, because they are utilizing the local resources. it is not going outside. Not only that, money the outsiders were taking out, even the resources. So those will be utilized locally. So then it will ensure full employment. And how agro and agrico industries will be done in villages, and how will be industry based on local resources, most of the industries, and there will be full employment automatically ensured. So in this way, different Samaj will attain self-sufficiency, I mean economic self-sufficiency. So that is the main target, not the political statehood. When Baba explained this thing that created that background, then Baba gave the idea of Prautish Sarva Samaj Samiti. Because question was, coming in Margi's mind, though they were accepting Prout. In the beginning, I tell you, very frankly, Prabhakarji, he knows also very well, very prominent Ananda Margis, they could not digest, even some workers, this aspect, this concept, that economic self-sufficiency, all this aspect, they could not digest. Why Samaj? So we are creating divisions in society. Some are feeling. Even some workers, I know, I must not tell their names. Baba was knowing this. The questions were coming. So then Baba was giving inputs. Then Baba started telling about Prautish Sarva Samaj Samiti. That then Baba clarified in one discourse, regional approach, while
universal
universal brotherhood or outlook, but regional approach. Regional means here socio-economic unit-wise. So this should be the two aspects of economic development. So then that is why, to justify this thing, Baba gave the idea, or started practically. Still I was Samaj Secretary. That idea that Prautish Universal, Prautish Sarva Samaj Samiti. So Baba clarified that how each Samaj in different states will be one state level Sarva Samaj Samiti. Sarva Samaj, I mean all Samaj combinedly will form that. And then in entire India. Understand? Then Baba was clarifying that aspect, regional approach while having universal outlook. Goal is universal, brotherhood and universal human society. But approach would be regional. That is why Baba justified. And then Baba, practically Baba was showing that how different Sarva Samaj Samiti started, and Baba started making in Eastern India, different Samaj, then first area wise, then entered India, Sarva Samaj. Then for giving example, under Sarva Samaj, Baba made the differentiation, relationship clear between Sarva Samaj, Samaj and Proud. Understand? With Proud, Baba, before that time, already little before Baba, in the beginning almost, Baba clarified the relationship between Proud and Samaj, that Samaj will not do things independently. There will be one SR. Baba started creating one post, whole-timer post, SR, Samaj Rector. I think you have heard about this, Samaj Rector. So Samaj Rector would be a WT. Naturally, while he will do Samaj activity, he will be in civil dress. So all these things should not go in the public, be very, very careful, only for amongst ourselves, You understand what I mean? Be very particular. So only those things which are very, should go, you understand very well, those should go. So, SR. So SR would be Proudest Universal Worker at the same time. So through that, Baba made the constitution of each Samaj like that, starting it from AB, Aamra Bangali, all these things were there. But when this Sarva Samaj Samiti, Baba, in order to create example, how they will function. Baba told that it will be totally, the Sarva Samaj Samiti would be totally a non-political platform of all Samaj for very limited activities. Limited activities means that time to time they will organize combined rally to show that Samaj, the first word in Sarva Samaj is proudest. So they are proudest Sarva Samaj. They are not any, diffuse type of things. So far as proud is concerned, all Samajas are same. So we are not creating Samajas, are not creating divisions. First thing Baba clarified through Sarva Samaj Samiti. And then Baba, in order to actualize it, to materialize it, Baba gave the programs. I was Samaj Secretary, I remember that. First in Kolkata, Baba called area level Sarva Samaj Samiti rally. Or even it was all India level. From India also, other than area, certain Samajas are there. So they also came, but mostly from Eastern India. Because through Bengal, then Tripura, then Bihar, then Eastern India, 4-5 states, they became more active in Samaj and masses started coming. So that is how this first rally was very successful. First rally was very successful in Kolkata. I was allowed by Baba to go in civil dress to see in my own eyes. That time Baba made the system. Baba was so serious that I had to remain with him in MD quarter actually 24 hours. I could not come in Tijela. Tijela was gradually built up. So I could not be allowed because I remember 6 times or 7 times Samaj report. After different hours, Baba would take Samaj report on different items from me. And I have to keep arrangement to bring those reports. So I remember that Baba allowed me to personally see all instructions, how it is being done. According to Baba's idea, how the Sarva Samaj Samiti flag, proudest Sarva Samaj Samiti flag, a banner would be in the beginning, So people did not first understand. Samaj, some people were conversant, but what is Sarva Samaj? So then, in those rallies, it would be explained very clearly, and Baba would give that training to the Samaj workers, and particularly those speakers. Some speakers were also created from different trades, particularly from Eros trade. Maximum LFTs would be in Eros in schools. In Bengal, there are maximum schools, and so many very experienced, knowledgeable, and dynamic LFT workers. Baba took almost 40 from Eros LFTs, from the schools, by replacing them with new LFTs, and gave them in Samaj when I was Samaj Secretary. So that is how Samaj movement intensified, because human resources are main thing. So Baba made the system, that LFT system, except SR there would be no WT in Samaj, but LFTs would be in maximum. And LFTs are half worker during Baba's time, so they are so dedicated, they are giving almost full times. And they were young, dynamic, and fully knowledgeable, and those. So that is how things took the shape. So Baba trained them that in the Samaj, Sarva Samaj, proudest Sarva Samaj rally, particularly this thing would be clarified. Baba those things gave in writing also later on, that what is the Samaj idea and how Samaj is not creating divisions, because it is regional approach, Proud's approach is regional approach, but universal humanity is the target. So keeping that in view, in Proud also, this universal aspect is there. That is why Proud is universal, very name of organization Baba gave the Proud is universal. So that is the goal. But to achieve that goal, the practical way is to go in this regional way, through creating or making stronger and stronger different socio-economic units, making them self-sufficient economically. And then Baba explained, this thing we used to clarify, according to training, these Samaj workers or speakers would clarify this aspect, that how Baba told that in Eastern India, suppose 20-25 samajas are there. Okay? So, real immediate aim is to attain the self-sufficiency, economic self-sufficiency, and how Baba gave that idea. So, after attaining self-sufficiency, what will be there? The economic situation of different samaj will be almost similar. So, then all those economically similar situation samajas would start merging amongst themselves. The very crucial aspect Baba clarified that time, start merging. And in this way, entire Eastern India would be one Samaj only. In this, after a certain period, in India will be one Samaj. In world also, different Samajas, 244 Samajas Baba gave, should be there. But gradually, the different socio-economic unit would be economically self-sufficient. They would be similar. So first 4 or 5 will merge together. Then their numbers will increase gradually. So this aspect will be clarified, that how it will be actualized, the regional approach, but universal aim, and how the universal human society, because Baba was very specific about that aspect, that without achieving economic self-sufficiency by different local people, presently in capitalism and communism, the local people are neglected. Who cares? People are in cities, because that life is attractive. But what is the situation? Just opposite situation in villages, particularly in India. So Baba's this aspect was very relevant, in the developing or underdeveloped countries. Very much factual thing. So people are understanding. And Margis also, those Margis who had some hesitation, they also started. Oh, this is the idea. So it is not creating divisions, So they were also fighting in favor of that amongst, when talk would be there. No. But government was, at the same time, CPM government was very, very tortuous, started becoming tortuous. One Ajitananda Avadhuta, he was killed while in custody, police custody. Most nefarious things they started. Even the 17 killings, sannyasis killing, the main reason was Samaj. Because CPM could not tolerate. They were fearing Prout. Anandamarga because Prout. They already researched that Prout is their main enemy. But Samajas, they understood, yes. They were thinking that period that masses are always they should remain fully under their control. Because through cheap sentiments, they did that situation, created that situation. Masses were with them. That is why they are winning elections. They were rigging, of course, but they were, even then, masses were with them, though their discontentment started. So that they could not tolerate. So more and more Samaj movement intensified, more and more torture started on the markets. Because they were knowing that who are the real persons behind. So this maximum torture started. This and that, and there will be different publicity, different government side, that they are creating divisions, what is it called? Communalism, very pet attack regarding Samaj, communalism, this and that, so many aspects. So, but the reply was, when Sarva Samaj Samiti meetings, rallies, when that aspect, first in certain area, then entire world basis, entire India basis. First Eastern India, then entire world. I also went to Delhi, according to Baba's instruction. It was organized in Delhi. Very successful in Delhi, in front of India Gate. There is a very big rally. So Baba clarified that aspect also, that how universal human society, so far as socio-economic point of view, how it will be practically implemented through Samaj. So it is not the divisive thing, it is rather practical way of uniting things, and how making each area, small areas and Samaj area, socio-economic unit, socio-economically independent, economically self-sufficient. Then generally, one day entire world will be only one human society. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because later, after Baba's Mahaprayan, I was GS for certain, for 4 years, that was the most crucial period in organization's life, in my life also, because Baba gave everything. But now the reality, that entity, that, most beloved entity physically is not in the front, until unless one is very prudent, regular, and really sincere in sadhana and a true devotee, would not so easily, because, the main person, there is a proverb in Bengal that when the owner of the land, he is taking the help of the laborers to till the lands, he is present there. But the moment he went house, the laborer psychology will give, they will relax, they will not be sincere in their work. So almost certain people, even some senior workers, organizationally the situation became bad due to that mentality. So very sadly speaking, that developed later on, but during that time, particularly I can give example between relation between Aamra Bangali Samaj and Angika Samaj, particularly. Why? Because Baba started gradually specifying Samaj areas. So Aamra Bangali was first. So Baba was telling about the local language speaking people, and Baba was telling history of India, history of Bengal, history of Bihar. So Baba established the fact that how Bengali speaking people, while the statehood was created during latter period of British Raj, that created a commission immediately after independence also, and that in commission the representation from Bengal side was not properly made. So many areas, even the Purulia district, in the beginning it was given to Bihar as Manbhum. The political leaders here were not conscious, they were busy about their power mongerings, who to become this minister or that minister or chief minister, very sad aspect. That time communists were not in the picture. Baba explained regarding relationship between Angika Samaj. Baba explained that how these areas, certain areas Baba told them Char Dumka. Baba's very popular name, Char Dumka. Dumka, Deoghar, 4 districts, Dumka, Deoghar, now these 4 districts are in Jharkhand. That time in Bihar. Jharkhand was made very recently, that time in Bihar. So Baba clarified that certain areas, though those were side by side, Angika speaking people were already side by side living in those Char Dumka area. Mostly certain adjacent places of Bengal. One part is in North Bengal, that is called Kishanganj district. Some small part of Purnia district, that is Katihar, little area. Baba would specify the blocks, not only subdivision, blocks, panchayats. Yes, this river. So other side of this river would be AV area. Other side of this area, Angika Samaj area. In this way, Baba was clarifying. So, Angika speaking people, Baba was holding meetings in Bihar, even in here, combinedly of all Samaj, particularly Angika Samaj and Aamra Bangali Samaj. And all their people are seated in front of Baba. I was present, other workers were present. And Baba was clarifying, explaining why this. So there was no disgruntlement, no feeling, no question of any enmity. Even not now, but later on after Baba's Mahaprayan, I mean some intelligent, unfortunately workers, so clever workers, gave that sentiment, that why Baba, but it is still not, till now it is not, not so much, could not become strong, because Baba, everybody accepts, had to accept that Baba himself has clarified in open meetings, though indoor meetings. And then officially Baba would leave the blocks, panchayats, and demarcate rivers, this aspect, that mountain, this side of mountain this and that side of mountain this, in this way, very specific demarcations. So all these things Baba clarified. So everybody accepted. No, it does not mean that Baba favored Amra Bangali. Baba is justified to say so, because actually it is true, Katihar or those places which Baba was in Jharkhand at the same time in Bihar, but maybe very side by side, Angika area. Baba would establish, you go, you study, Baba would send representatives of both the Samaj, AV and Angika Samaj, to go and visit those Baba instruction, this block, this village, this panchayat, and report me. They came back with the reality. Yes, Baba, the local people in the villages in those areas, they all speak Bengali. In their house, though outside they speak Angika or Hindi, but inside the house they speak Hindi. Yes, mother tongue means what? In which language I communicate with my mother and father and family members. So there was no question of enmity. Even now there is no question of enmity, because Baba removed that aspect, theoretically and practically. Who would be outsiders? In the beginning Baba did not clarify that. Who would be called outsiders? Because outsiders movement in every Samaj became very popular. So who would be outsiders? Baba told, very later period, Baba clarified that suppose in Bengal only Madhwaris are not outsiders. Who are outsiders in different Samaj areas? First criteria, first aspect, those who have actually come from other parts of the country, not local population, local people, but they are living here for several years. Okay? They do not speak that language. They have not made them well conversant in language. Okay? They have not identified their economic interest, socio-economic interest, with the interest of this area, because they send the money out. Even a small employee in jute mill, they get monthly salary and they send out to a money order to their own states. So this is going out of resources. The local economy is not getting that benefit. In every area, every Samaj, Baba explained the outsiders aspect. Who are outsiders? So Baba, at the very latter stage, Baba very strongly established or clarified that outsiders does not mean that those who have come only from outside. They will, suppose many of them, thousands of them, maybe millions of them, in Bengal suppose, they are remaining here for different 2-3 generations. And they have well versed in local language. And they have identified their economic interest, socio-economic interest, with the socio-economic interest of the local people, local area. How? They are not taking out the money there. Their entire families are here. So they are utilizing and spending. They are speaking that language also. Then that person, though his mother tongue suppose is Angika or Hindi, but he will be termed as, he can be also the member of Amra Bangali. Even Samaj members, Baba told, even one Samaj, in some Amra Bangali Samaj, 2-3 prominent posts were held by, even when Baba Bhukti system Baba started, Bhukti EBP, that particular Samaj people would be elected as Bhukti Pradhan. But in some Bhukti Pradhan mixed area, Baba allowed that no, those persons who were just beside, they are just in Samaj area, they are almost have become, totally have become identified, have identified their economic. So they can be also accepted as Bhukti Pradhan. Baba has unified both the aspect. In the beginning also, as through Sarva Samaj Samiti, even different Samaj in their discussions, in their indoor discussions, in their public meetings, Baba taught them, tutored them, how they will clarify that unifying factor is proud. And proud is universal. Unifying factor is proud. Though Anand Marga ideology will not come so directly, but proud is the unifying factor. So, everybody is proudist, Margi or not non-Margi. But only one can be accepted as Samaj member who may not be so much conversant in proud theory or ideology or ideas, but they must be strong believers in proud, having the sentiment for that. And proud is universal, because in 5 fundamental principles that universal aspect is there. So that is how universality comes. And then when Baba clarified this Sarva Samaj Samiti aspect and how entire world will become through that practical process, then everybody became very clear. So there was no confusion. Still there is no confusion, I think, in anybody's mind. But in the beginning, for practical reasons, the approach must be regional. Regional means socio-unique, economic unit wise. I think I have finished. Thank you. I am obliged that you asked me my very favorite subject.